So I wanted to end the year talking about a few EDC items that I've been carrying or having in my vehicle for a while. So a lot of these items I've been carrying for the past, I don't know, over the past 2 or 3 years. But some of these items are new and they're alternatives to like the more expensive version of the item. So I'll go ahead and go over that in a little bit as well. But to get started, this is the Magpul DACA pouch. They have different sizes. This is a small, I think it's a 6x8. They have medium, large, and they also have different sizes and volumes of bags and pouches that I really like. I have multiples of them, and I've been using them for a really long time. So I like carrying these in my cars because they're very water resistant, dust resistant. I wouldn't say they're waterproof, but they do well with different environments. It also has two areas where you can attach loops to. You can hang this on different areas. So if you have like camping, I use a bigger one for like my toiletries and stuff. If I'm camping, I'll hang this on a tent or something. These things are really nice. They also have a little section back here so you can differentiate between different pouches if you have multiples of them. And these are window. There's some that don't have a window. They're just solid. But this one has a window and I really like it. So these pouches are nice. They're about 20 bucks for the small, and then they go up in price as you go bigger. Next is going to be a flashlight that I really like. I've been using this light for like over 4 years now. This is a Pelican 1920. There's a lot of these lights. I also really like the Streamlight Stylus Pro and all those, but this one has been with me for a really long time. It has two modes, I think 120 lumens, and then I don't know what this mode is, but it's nicer because the majority of the time you're using this to look for keys or whatever. So I like using this mode a lot, and then it'll last longer if you're using the dimmer mode. So this thing's really nice. It's been through a lot. I've dropped it. I've used it as a tool, as a hammering tool, and it's worked just fine. So I really like this light. This one's about 30 bucks, I think, and you can find them on sale pretty often, but I think this is like a $30 light. I really think it's worth it though. It's lasted me a really long time. All right, next is going to be this Anchor charging case or charging box or whatever. This is a power bank, but I like it because it works with my phone perfectly, and you just kind of let it sit there, and it's magnetic because it uses a MagSafe, and it'll charge your phone. I think this is a 5,000 milliamp version of it. They have others that are a little bit bigger, 10,000, but they're a little bit chunkier. I like this one because it's really thin, and it doesn't really take up a lot of space in my pouch. So this one's really nice to use if you're out and about and you need to get out of the car or whatever, and your phone's not charged. I always pull this thing out and put it on my phone and just have it charging the whole time while I'm out. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is going to be a multi-tool. Now, I don't really recommend you guys cheaping out on a multi-tool. I've had the Leatherman rebar. I've had a silver one for a really long time. I want to say about 2 years. I ended up losing it when I was out camping, and then I found this one, and I ended up buying this one just because it was cool. But I really like this multi-tool. I've used it many times already when I was out camping. It has the basic stuff. It has the little saw, can opener, Phillips head, flathead, a knife, pliers, simple stuff. But you don't want to cheap out and get a crappy multi-tool from Amazon for it to only break on you and that you spend $20 on, and then now you're out 20 bucks because your multi-tool sucked. But yeah, I really like this multi-tool. It's about 80 bucks. All right, now next is going to be a little knife, like a little razor. I like having razors because I'm always opening boxes and whatnot. So having something like this is really nice. It's a really tall, I think it's called a screw pop. Yeah, a screw pop. And all it is just like a little holder for your razor. But depending on what razor blades you get, you'll have different sections where you can stop the razor blade and then have different lengths, right? So this one has like a 4-stop, so I can get pretty long with the knife if I go ahead and put it on the last slot there. And it's really cool because if you wear this area out, you could just flip it and then use the other side and then put this little thing back on. If you want to put it away, you just kind of let it go. And it has a magnet built in that'll kind of make the razor slide out, and then you just put that little lock on it and it won't come out in your pocket. So I really like this. I use this a lot every day almost to open boxes. But I have one in here as well in case I ever need to use it or whatever. All right, next is going to be this. This is an all-weather notebook. Now, very similar to the field notes. There's some field notes, I believe, that are all-weather, whatever. But they're like really expensive. I'm sure you guys know the field notes pads. I have a few of them actually, and they're really expensive. These, I paid $8 for 4 of them. and it came with a few different colors. And this here just comes with about 50 or so pages you can write, depending on what kind of pen you got, but I've used normal pens and it's worked just fine. I like having a notebook because you can leave notes on people's cars if you have to, or in people's mailboxes, or whatever the situation might be. It's cool to have like something to write in and, you know, rip out, and it'll withstand some rain or whatever. So I like these notebooks here. It also has the little rulers, inches and centimeters in the back if you need to, I don't know, you need to see how big a wound is or whatever. That's what I think about when I see the centimeters and inches on a card like this. It's like you're trying to check a wound. But yeah, I really like these little notebooks. They're really nice and really cheap too. All right, the pen. So this is a Zebra G750. I only like this pen. I've always talked about this pen. I like this pen because it's all metal. So if you need to use it for, I don't know, self-defense or whatever, you can. Very similar to the Pelican. You can use it to smack things around. You can do that same thing with this pen. It's really strong, and it writes really nice too. So it kind of pairs up with the notebook here. And then lastly is going to be a tourniquet. I carry a firearm as much as I can, wherever I can, and sometimes where I can't. But I like to keep a tourniquet. I normally have one in my pocket. I have something similar to the snake stab. This is like a 1-inch, I believe, tourniquet compared to the 1.5 inches. That's the generic cat tourniquet. That's the size that the other ones are. This one's nice because it's just thinner and it fits in a lot of the mag pouches. But you know, if I had to choose between the 1.5 inch or the 1-inch, I'll choose the 1.5 inch, the bigger, the wider one. But this is cool because it's smaller. It kind of keeps me from being lazy to carry it because the cat tourniquet is way too big. I think Snake Staff also makes a bigger 1.5 tourniquet that I have. I just don't really use it because it's in another pouch, but this is the one I carry the most. As you can see, it looks pretty warm because it's in my pocket pretty often. But I like keeping one in here as well because it's just cool to have an extra one in case I need it. So yeah, tourniquet is also in this little pouch here. These go for about $32. This pen is like $8. This notepad, you get 4 of them for $8, and they're all weather. This thing is $80 for the multi-tool. I don't know. I think this is like $35 for the Anchor MagSafe charger, and then the Pelican 1920 is like a $30 flashlight. And then this is like $20. Some of these items are kind of inexpensive. The only expensive item is going to be the tourniquet, the charger, the multi-tool, and then the flashlight. You can also get a Streamlight Stylus Pro or whatever. I'll try to put it on the screen, but it's like a $20 light, very similar to this. And I have that one as well, and I use that one. I believe that one's in another vehicle that I have in a little pouch, but I really like that one as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Quick little video.